Griff?
Jillian, turning now to our guest on the Biden border crisis. Among the attorneys general suing the Biden administration on the border policy, Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich. Mr. Attorney General, thank you for taking time. I think you may have heard in our previous report from Bill Maloogian down on the border there, along with the former acting ICE Director Tom Homan, talking about the sheer frustration of the agents being unable to enforce the law. You are trying to increase that. What is your reaction to what we've seen this week with agents standing up to the leadership over this issue?
Griff, as someone that spent a lot of time as a prosecutor, even prosecuting gangs before I became AG, it's breaks my heart to see what's happening because the far left, the progressive left, has spent years now basically demonizing law enforcement. Now, essentially, they're demoralizing the Border Patrol. And as a result of that, we're seeing the destruction occurring in our very neighborhoods. And so what the Biden administration has done, and as enablers in the U.S. Senate, make no mistake about that, people like Cartel Kelly here, they've allowed the cartels to empower themselves. We've now seen millions of people illegally enter the country through human traffickers. We've seen the cartels flood our communities with drugs like fentanyl and methamphetamine. And now, of course, we're seeing criminals being released into our communities and possible terrorists entering our communities. So we are all less safe as a result of what Joe Biden, Secretary Mayorkas, and Cartel Kelly are doing to not only Arizona, but all of America.
Well, you talk about the drugs, the cartels putting specifically fentanyl. We saw this week Texas's Governor Greg Abbott, along with Attorney General Ken Paxton, your counterpart in Texas, holding this meeting, a sort of round table, talking about how bad it is. The Texas DPS, and mind you, this is not CBP, which has a larger role in this, just alone, Texas DPS, since they started their operation Lone Star, have seized 1,140 pounds of, it says marijuana on the screen, it should be fentanyl. It's 1,140 pounds of fentanyl, which is equal to 258 million lethal doses. What is the situation in Arizona?
Well, it's terrible. And remember, this is not just on Texas or Arizona's doorstep. This is coming to communities throughout America. So just last year, Griff, in Arizona alone, more than 9 million legal fentanyl pills were seized, literally enough to kill the entire population of our state because 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be fatal. So we're seeing a record amount of fentanyl. And I know as a prosecutor, when you look at the price of fentanyl just from last year to what the street price is right now, it's fallen from about 20 bucks a pill now to about $3 to $5 a pill. So that means we're having this dramatic surge in supply coming into our country, which means more people are going to die and there is going to be more costs associated with lost productivity and people having to go into rehab and just the social cost of the destruction of the American family as a result of these failed Biden administration policies. So shame on Joe Biden. And that's why, months ago, Griff, I had said that Secretary Mayorkas should be replaced, but the Biden administration is not doing it. So the people in Congress, the Senate, the House, they need to step up and do their jobs. And Secretary Mayorkas needs to be impeached because he is endangering the lives of every single American in this country as a result of his man-made catastrophe at our southern border.
Well, in fairness to Secretary Mayorkas, he went down to the border and he got a pretty rough reception, but he told the agents he'll always have their back as they turned their backs on him. Do you think that there are ways you could work with Secretary Mayorkas to turn this around?
Look, Griff, I will work with anyone, anywhere, Republican, Democrat, Green Party, Red Party, whatever they are, to keep our community safe and to protect hardworking American taxpayers. My problem is that the Biden administration seems more focused on the globalist and protecting their progressive left than they do for protecting a middle America about the surge and what's happening with the cartels. And it's why I have been involved in so many lawsuits against the Biden administration. But I have invited Vice President Harris, who used to be the AG of California, I have invited Secretary Mayorkas to sit down and talk to us and work with us in a collaborative way to help secure our communities. But they don't want to. What the Biden administration has done to law enforcement, whether it's Border Patrol, whether it's state AGs, they've told us to pound sand because they care more about the progressive left than they do about America.
Please let us know if they take you up on that offer, and we will report on it right here. Attorney General Mark Brnovich, thank you for taking time, sir. Jillian?